Just look at that sea of orange. No surprises if I tell you we're here in Holland at Zandvoort for the Max Verstappen celebration party. It's a quick track and perfect for high speeds, high stakes qualifying. Welcome along to the Dutch Grand Prix qualifying day.
Hello there everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back once again to my F1 25 My Team Career Mode. We're back in Zandvoort, this time racing it in the proper direction. Yes, this is the Dutch Grand Prix. If you didn't see the last instalment when we did this circuit in reverse, do be sure to check that one out before you see this one. Starting off, we've got a slight mistake in this qualifying session that has ruined the first lap. But we're off the back of some points when we were here doing the circuit in reverse. So I'm hoping we can carry on that momentum and get another points finish here. The pace is starting to move forwards, but we are still a bit of a way off yet. And we've still got quite a way to go before we can fight at the front. But the upgrades are coming in pretty thick and fast now, as we've had some successful completion of research, and now they are in development, so hopefully, we can bring ourselves closer to the top teams. Q1, it took us a few laps to set a lap good enough to get through, we just couldn't get dialed in for the lap. Q2 we got through, we made it into Q3 where I elected not to set a time, because obviously we have a grid penalty, but with Franco qualifying P9, there is still a chance for some points for us here, so the pace is looking pretty encouraging at this stage.
For years, the passionate Dutch fans have been easy to find trackside in races across Europe. Here this weekend, it's even easier to find the Dutch fans as they have a race to call their own once again. A warm welcome to all of our viewers in the Netherlands and around the globe, of course, as we get underway for the Dutch Grand Prix. Zandvoort circuit has 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Tsunoda, Mika Hakkinen and Leclerc, Senna, Piastri, Colapinto and Lance Stroll, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Jack Doohan and Hulkenberg, Gasly, Lawson, Paul Aron and Ollie Behrman, Bortoleto, Albon, Hadja and Andrea Kimi Antonelli rounds off the grid. And joining me in the commentary box once again, Naomi Schiff. Hi, Gnomes. Now, Ant, I could go on for hours, and I probably will, about the atmosphere here today, the Sea of Orange, this Dutch Formula One festival. But once you're in the cockpit, once the visor's down...
All right, let's have a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Try to put the starting position out of your mind and just focus on the race ahead. We can still do a good job.
Starting stone dead last because of our penalty, so we're going to run long and see what happens in this race. We are underway for the Dutch Grand Prix, and it's a decent start, but as you can see, there's nowhere really to go and find a way through. I am going to try and go to the outside, see if we can take Hadjar straight off the bat. Hadjar trying to defend, but I think we've got past. No, we haven't. Yes, we have. We're ahead of Hadjar. Now I'm going to the outside to see if we can get past the Williams of Alex Albon on the podium last time out at the reverse Dutch Grand Prix. 0-0 as we now get ready to shape up a move on Gabriel Bortoleto, but the move just isn't on there. We do manage to complete the move off camera. I'm sorry I wasn't able to capture it, but by the end of lap 2 we have moved up 3 places, so good early progress in this Dutch Grand Prix, but we need to keep this momentum going. We can't get complacent, we have to keep pushing, and I'm now pushing to get after Oliver Behrman. Max Verstappen setting the fastest lap of the race at this moment. And Liam Lawson is keeping Oliver Behrman back. We have caught up to him on lap 4 out of 36. But there's no way through here. However, I am going to try one of my favourite overtakes to do around the Dutch Grand Prix. And it is literally just here where I go full send up the inside. And that has worked. That has got us ahead of Oliver Behrman and up into P18.
Nice move.
So up another place and now putting some pressure on Liam Lawson. Heading round the bank final corner. Getting ourselves a nice run on the straight. Down the straight we go. Can we get past Lawson into turn 1? Oh, that's a bit of a brave dive, isn't it? That's a very brave dive. Lawson trying to hold it out around the outside, but I think this is where he'll just have to back out. But he's still side by side with us. This is good racing from the Racing Bulls driver, but Lawson eventually having to give that one up, and we take P17. We've got a yellow flag, so I don't know who's had a moment there. But the yellow's now gone as we start setting after Paul Aron in the other Racing Bulls, and we are chasing him down for P15. So it's slow progress in this Dutch Grand Prix. We're on lap 8 out of 36, and Paul Aron is right there now. We're going to have a go down the straight. This is a pretty conventional overtaking place around here. Aron goes to defend, but we're through before the corner, up into 15th. A nice little move there. Now let's see what pace we've got. We've got some clear air and about 5 seconds worth of it for a few laps now. So let's push and see what the actual pace is. Where is Franco Colapinto? That is my question. The answer is there's a gaggle of cars here that we're approaching, and Colapinto is holding them all up. So he's in P10. We might be able to steal a point from him at this stage of the Grand Prix. We've just got to push for it as we start making gains towards the car at the back of this queue, which is Jack Doohan in the Alpine. And as we head round the left-hander, we're now caught up on lap 13 out of 36. And we're going to go round the outside of the bank corner. That's not worked. Doohan's had a great run out of the corner. Now we can try and have a look at our normal overtaking spot. Not here, that would be over ambitious and be a front wing gone. But we can do it just here, where I like to go full send. And Doohan, well, not really able to do much to defend that. And I think we caught him napping a little bit. Up into P14. Next up is Nico Hulkenberg with Fernando Alonso. I can't see who else that is at this time, tucked up behind Colapinto. But he is holding this gaggle up as we now set after Nico Hulkenberg round the outside of the banking, and we are through. It's Lance Stroll in P11 at this stage. But look at that. That was a beautiful move round the outside of Nico Hulkenberg. Literally just drove clean around the outside with better traction and taking the place. Next up now, Fernando Alonso. Can we do the same to him? No, Alonso's got us covered there. And actually, it looks at this moment as if Stroll is holding this up more than Franco Colapinto is. And I think Stroll's soft tyres might just be starting to feel a little bit second best. They have gone 15 laps, so I imagine Aston Martin are going to bring one of their cars in. Let's see which one they elect to as we enter the straight. It's Fernando Alonso that comes in, so he might get a little bit of an undercut here. Verstappen has made his pit stop. Lance Stroll, we're diving down the inside of and making that move somehow work. So down the inside of Stroll we go. And that's a nice little overtake, isn't it? We're now running in P4 because we haven't stopped yet. And this is the moment that I'm praying for a red flag or a safety car, just something to help us keep this position. But look at that, through goes Tsunoda, through goes Hakkinen, as if we're standing still. And that is just the reality of having dead tyres. A car that isn't quite a front-running car yet. And yeah, a combination of that and we're a sitting duck to the AI on the straight. Charles Leclerc was coming after us, but we managed to hold him back until we pit in. Off go the worn hard tyres. On go the medium. Drama in our stop, however, as they were. It was slow changing one of the wheels, but we're back out in P12, just behind Colapinto. So Fernando Alonso has got himself a nice little undercut by staying out longer. No, by pitting early, sorry, and switching to the hard tyres. But now we're on the medium, so it's a case of can I get after Fernando Alonso and pinch that 1 point. Doohan is right behind me in 13th, but I'm confident that we can shake him off relatively soon. But first things first, I have to overtake my teammate Colapinto, who we are now going to be gaining on. And this is us now trying to get past Colapinto as quickly as we can by going full send into turn 1. And we have cleared our teammate. And we're now 2 seconds closer to Alonso. And in fact, Stroll has also managed to get an undercut on Colapinto. So both Aston Martins currently sat in 9th and 10th. We're in 11th and 12th, and I'm trying to work my way towards Alonso. And we have caught by a second, which is good going, but we're not really catching fast enough. If we're going to catch the Aston Martin, we have to be a little bit quicker. We've dropped a bit of time there, and we've dropped the car altogether. Round it goes, and unbelievably, just touching a little bit of grass, and the car spins round. Through goes Leclerc, through goes Colapinto, and we're down into P13. Oh, that is frustrating. And from that point onwards, the tyres felt like utter crap. So we pit in, and we're going to take some softs to go to the end. Off go the mediums, on go the softs. Yeah, once we spun, the tyres just felt like crap. We were pretty much sliding out of half the corners, so it was time to pit in and get a new set of tyres on. And we're now P19, right at the back. Once again about to overtake drivers that we haven't encountered since the beginning of this Grand Prix. First up is Isaac Hadjar, who is running P18 for Haas. What a miserable season Haas have had at this moment. P18 with Hadjar and just not really getting anywhere. And we're now going to have a look. Well, that's a very, very long lunge on Hadjar. But we've managed to make that work up into P18. Next up is Paul Aron. And we caught him pretty quickly. And we're going to try and take him round the outside of the banking here. Not an issue. Round the outside we go. Up into P17. And now we try to catch Albon and Behrman, who are 15th and 16th. And it really didn't take us long to catch them at all. My fastest lap is now 1:11 dead. Can we go any faster on this lap? I don't think so. The softs don't tend to last very long. As we power down the straight. Are we going to be able to get one of these drivers? Oh, that's a very late lunge, but I'm taking it anyway. And Albon getting out of the way up into P16. Dead ahead of us is George Russell, who is a lap in front. But I figured if we could stay relatively close to Russell as Alonso drops out of the race. If only we'd held on to P11 and not dropped it, we might have been able to secure a single championship point from this. But as such, it's just not meant to be here. We've got ahead. We're now closing in on Nico Hülkenberg for P13. He's backed up by letting the leader through. And we're going to go down the inside of Hülkenberg and move up into P13, which is pretty much going to be our finishing position, considering Doohan is 4.5 seconds up the road, and considering we're lapped, this is our final lap. Day to forget here. It all kind of went wrong. It was a mistake of our own doing that knocked us out of a chance of a point, and in the end, it's P11 for Colapinto, P13 for us.
Okay,
Not a good day at the office, is it?
It's another victory and a champion's performance from Max Verstappen.
Well, that's 2 wins in a row for them now. That's really going to help them gain confidence and start to build that momentum that they're really going to be looking for.
It's time for our podium celebrations. And as ever in Formula One, 3 is the magic number. One of the all-time greats celebrates yet again. It's another podium, it's another top step for Max Verstappen. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Well, it was a chance of points, but we dropped it on our own, and as a result, no points for us today. Max Verstappen just doing Max Verstappen things. Norris gets second, Russell third, Piastri fourth. Top 5 finish for Hakkinen. Tsunoda 6th, Senna after the win in Spa. It's just not really gone right for him, has it? He's had a 5th and a 7th. Sainz is 8th, Stroll 9th, and Charles Leclerc taking the final point of this race. I feel like that could have been us in P10, but then again, would we have been able to hold off Charles Leclerc? I don't know. Max Verstappen takes another jump forwards in the championship. He is now 61 points clear. And again, it becomes a matter of when over if he takes the championship. It's Norris in second, Russell third, Hakkinen fourth, Tsunoda fifth, Senna sixth, Piastri, Leclerc, Alonso and Albon completing the top 10. We're still 12th and 13th. Again, we need to see some more points on the board. We're still in 7th place, but Williams and Aston Martin have now got a clear gap to us. It's going to be very hard to make that up. Thank you so much for watching this instalment of Career Mode. Please don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe if you're new and you want to see more content from me. Until the next time, TTFN, ta-ta for now, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.